Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
An entrepreneur has to make countless strategic and operational decisions in a rapidly evolving environment. So, we need avenues which can nurture new and small businesses that can help them survive and grow through the difficult and vulnerable early stages of business and help develop entrepreneurial ways of thinking. Bhau Institute Pune is one such organization that provides the entrepreneurs experiential wisdom and peer-based learning environment to help them excel. Let's know more about the innovation and startup initiatives at Bhau Institute and also about the emerging ecosystem of innovation in the country from Mandar Joshi, the CEO of Bhau Institute.
The idea conceptualized way back in 2007 when Narendra Kaleji, Mr. Sanjay Inamdar and Dr. Anil Sahasrabudhe, who is the director of COEP, came together to actually think about having an entrepreneurship hub on the campus and delivering courses to the students. And that's where the idea generated and decided to have an exclusive center to foster entrepreneurship on COEP campus. That's where it started in 2007. Then process began, and then in 2014-2015 the construction of this particular incubation center began. 2017 the center was established and was approved by Department of Science and Technology as a technology business incubator way back in 2017. So that's how this particular building and the incubation center started its operations with the support of Department of Science and Technology. So Department of Science and Technology actually focuses, as you rightly mentioned, the focus areas, because they are actually looking at 3-4 sectors that they want to actually focus on. One comes as AI ML, then comes the grassroots innovations. There is EV and mobility is one of them. Then there is agri-tech and health tech are also few areas. These are the 5-6 sectors and areas that they are focusing on as supporting startups in this particular sector and areas. That's how, and that's basically because they want to have certain things made in India, which will be an invention in India with the philosophy of the government of India of Make in India concept. So that's where they want to support startups which are coming up with inventions, innovations, and coming out from India. So these are the 5-6 sectors that are focused. Grassroots innovation is basically social impact, where it actually impacts the community as a whole and focuses on social innovation. Basically, it starts with focusing on the student's idea. Then it comes to the prototype. So students work on their projects which are actually wonderful products which can go to market, but somewhere they lack that support which is required to take that idea to a prototype to go to market stage. And that's where the incubation plays a major role. There is a pre-incubation, there is a virtual incubation, and there is a physical incubation. So pre-incubation, we capture the ideation stage who are also students and are actually graduating, and they rope them in as pre-incubatees and actually get them in the, there are certain schemes which have come from government, which are Prayas, EIR and SSP, which is Seed Support Program. And in this particular initiatives of Department of Science and Technology, the government has come out with certain limited funds for these particular areas. So EIR is Entrepreneur in Residence, where the ideators or conceptual level graduate students are supported with a fund of around 3.6 lakhs per annum, and monthly they are supported with a fund to support them on their ongoing research and building that product. That's about EIR. So that's the concept. We have seen that from that to actually going to a fund of 50 lakhs, which is under the seed support program, which is also equity based CCD, that is debenture, convertible debentures, as well as debt. So that's the journey. And Prayas in between, which is a 10 lakh grant, which is again next level of taking the product to the market or building the prototype and having a product and going to the market. So that's how the funding goes, from 3.6 lakhs in EIR, 10 lakhs in Prayas, and about 30 to 50 lakhs in seed support program. And that's how the journey we have seen of the entrepreneurs from the ideation stage to actually go to market, who graduate after about 2 years being at the incubation center. Not everybody who becomes an incubatee is eligible or gets the funding, but there is a process to be eligible for this funding. So we have an extensive evaluation process to get somebody on board as an incubatee, and then we see the criterias of the DST, which we actually measure. There is a process which we use to actually evaluate the applications that come in to become a part of the incubation program, and then if they fit into these 4-5 sectors that we talked about, that's one criteria. Then there are a few more criteria which we look at, and it's a very in-depth and very quality proven process which we actually have for this intake of our incubatees to be a part of Bhau Institute's incubation program. And further to that, the incubatee becomes eligible for all these schemes of funding if he is a part of this incubation program for 3 months and more. Then and then only he can apply for these particular wherever he fits. And that's how we actually get the incubatees on board. Of course, everybody comes on board to get support, but the most important thing is, since they know that this is a government funded incubation center, they look for funding as a priority and come forward and apply to be a part of this incubation program. And that's where we actually, and the applications are open for anybody and everybody, but focused on these 4-5 sectors is what we, areas that I just spoke about, is what we emphasis more on. So there are quite a lot of offerings as far as incubation is concerned. Apart from the funding, we have other avenues where we have I can list out about 21 plus offerings, which include some availability of equipments which the incubatee can use, availability of the industry experts who are a part of our incubation center, mentoring program, which is a 6 to 1 year long mentoring program that we have with us. There are events and activities which give them a platform to network and build their own network to actually go to the market or capture investors. Apart from the Department of Science and Technology funding that we have under various schemes, we also facilitate funding by tying up with venture capitalists or angel investors and bring to the table the startups that they are looking at from the areas they were. That's where we also have some startups who are not in the area of what Department of Science and Technology has defined, but other startups who are coming for these offerings that we have for the startups as far as facilitating funding is also concerned, plus using of labs with various equipments and machinery that they can use, and the network and the industry experts that are in our database or network. Everybody can agree with me, because India has become a startup hub now, and on top of it, 10 odd years back when government literally jumped in, earlier there was a private support from the been there done that entrepreneurs who have actually become successful. They came forward and started some organizations and started supporting entrepreneurs by mentoring, which was about 10-15 years back. And then Bangalore became the hub, Pune is now the hub, and it's spreading across the country now. Maharashtra, in the last week I came to know that it's become the #1 state where 13,000 plus startups are registered startups, where this is a #1 state, followed by Karnataka, Noida, Delhi, and many other states. And over that, the private things started way back in, the global support started coming in, the private, and then the government jumped in, which wherein now I suppose there are more than about 600 to 900 incubation centers, private plus government supported. And it's going to be a real amazing thing for the young generation to jump into the startup ecosystem and start something of their own. This world is completely different as far as India is concerned, and this is going to grow, because now we can see a lot of success, plus the government is coming up with money, and also private investors are increasing. The first thing that we see is, it's generating lots of employment. Yeah, we are looking at lots of job creators coming up. Earlier, there was a lot of load on the government as far as employment is concerned because there were job seekers more. Now we can see a lot of job creators. One entrepreneur is 19 job created is what the ratio is, what my thinking is, and somebody referred it few weeks back. So that's the data. So that is going to help the economy as a whole for circulation of revenue generation, and the best part that we will see is innovations and inventions coming. There are so many IPs that we are actually generating as far as every incubation concern. For example, just take our incubation center. We have so far, out of 250 entrepreneurs, startups, we have generated at least 69 IPs so far. So that's something which we are proud of. Plus, with 250 plus entrepreneurs, we have almost generated about 1000 plus jobs. The teams, the startups come out with are very small, 5, 10, 15, 20. But so far we have seen that at least 1000 jobs have been created. Currently we have 126 startups working from our center, and out of 250 plus we have about 1000 jobs generated so far. And also one more important thing is it's also providing a lot of support to the women entrepreneurs coming forward. That's a good sign for India. Alone from our incubation center, we have about 45 women entrepreneurs who have so far come forward. There should be some support and forces coming together to actually have a support through incubation center like this. First and the foremost thing is some been there, done that successful entrepreneurs who are dedicated and passionate to give back is something which is very important. Then if in case there is a host institute, there are private incubation center, there are public incubation center supported by. If there is a good host institution which is coming forward, because space sometimes becomes a constraint. And this is possible with host institutes like ours as COEP coming forward and allotting some space, and like this center which we have is about 26,500, and having such a huge center in the heart of the city is, in today's world, it's actually impossible. And the cost and everything is such an important. So two things which I said was, first is the been there, done that, passionate, successful entrepreneurs coming forward to give back. Secondly, a host institution or an industry who is willing to support entrepreneurship. These are the 2 and 3 important major forces that should come forward. And definitely government, which is the heart of this ecosystem, to come forward and support the startups. These are the 4 which I believe there will be many more. 10 years back, 15 years back, coming forward and helping somebody was a kind of a taking risk itself. Startup itself felt like jumping into this journey was a risky proposition. But today there are so many institutions, organizations who are willing to support and help entrepreneurs by way of their own funding, generating funds, and also having industry experts who are been there, done that, serial entrepreneurs who have already traveled a journey of 20 years. This is an ecosystem which is very strong, and those who are hesitant should join such organization to take a feel of what is happening around, because the world is open as far as startup ecosystem is concerned, and such organizations are in huge number. So if they become a part without investing or risking anything and stay there for some time, then they'll get a feel of it, how it works, and people with this experience have jumped in as investors, as mentors, full time in this process, and we're not aware of what's happening. So looking around with this all ecosystem coming up, they should actually be a part of it for some time, understand it, and automatically they'll be pulled in the system.